So for the last little bit, I've been messing around with different window managers to kind of configure them up a little bit, get a feel for how they might feel in certain applications and stuff. And I've kind of been working around with Qtile. I'm still using Awesome for like my main one, but the reason I was looking at other window managers is because of my Thinkpad. So I've been trying to figure out a good way to like put together a window manager that could also work as in a pseudo tablet situation as well. So the reason I went with Qtile is because one, it was pretty easy to set a number of things up, and there's still things I need to work out. But also because so far I've been able to do most of what I wanted with it pretty easy. There are some kinks that I have to work out, and this might make me choose a different one to work with, but this is basically what I've got so far. So basically I'm in Qtile currently. Wow, that is amazing. We can get the focus. Hello. So what I've got currently right now with my Boomer setup is I've got a bottom panel that has like network info, the time, and then like its shutdown logout key, which I can like tap and what all and mess with. And then the top panel is just like the volume setting and a couple other things. But importantly up here, I've got my group stuff that I can switch around with. And then this is kind of like the big reason why I was looking for a touch thing is, so I've got a couple of those buttons right there. So first of all, the rotate ones are I think pretty simple to understand. I've got Thinkpad scripts installed, and what these are is basically a bunch of scripts directly geared toward ThinkPads in this kind of a thing. So whether you've got a tablet or another kind of ThinkPad, these scripts are basically built specifically for the functionalities of a ThinkPad, including the ThinkVantage key as well. So if I switch it around here, I can sit here and tap, boom, the rotates. Wallpaper doesn't adjust the best, but I can sit here and go through them. So I think for the most part I'll end up sitting in here. So one thing I was going through too is, as I was messing around with stuff on my PinePhone as well, I realized, wait, I can set up SVKBD in this. The issue that I've run into so far with it is that one, it doesn't really have a Windows key. So I don't have that super key or whatever that I can find on the keyboard to do stuff. Did the power just go out on me? I think it did. I'm going to try and make it quick. But that means I can't do certain, like, other keys. But if I did it the other way, I could go under here. And now I can look for Qt Browser. And the other problem I ran into too is it doesn't always want to keep focus on it. So I've got to set the window manager to overlay SVKBD, but then I also want it to be able to move up space so that it takes up space like in SXMO. So that's the other issue that I've got to kind of overcome now is that. But for the most part, I've got it pretty functional. I can sit here. Well, Qt Browser doesn't do the best with it. A couple other applications do, but like the terminal will work just fine. But other than that, that's basically so far what I've got there. The other thing too is the launcher here. Can't remember the name of the project, but the launcher, it doesn't have the swipe thing. So I can't swipe side to side, so I'm stuck tapping the bottom keys here. but it's basically goes through and launches everything. So now I can run Xernal and run through it. For some reason, it was working just fine. But so if we go, we can pick. So the most I've used this for so far, honestly, is to mess around with RPGs, because I can sit here and I go to, like, where is it? Oh, paper background. So if we go to graph, most of what I've done in Xernal with the pen is RPG stuff. So rolling dice, generating dungeons, and it works pretty well so far for that. And I really like it. So yeah, there's that. And then that's kind of the most that I've been working with. So far it works. For some reason the pen is not working correctly like it normally does. But kind of weird. The one that I was first starting with when I was messing around with it was actually in Cinnamon. So if I bump out of here and then type in the password. I think my light just went out, that's all. Go to Cinnamon, log in, and we come back over. I've got the same background and all. So in the bottom panel, I have the same thing going on down here, so I can flip it up and down, and I can get the same view as well. And so I was looking at Cinnamon as a main one because apparently it works pretty well. For whatever reason, my pen doesn't want to work correctly. I may have to restart, so. But the pen normally works pretty well, so I can sit here and draw with it, then turn around and erase under normal circumstances. I don't know why it's not doing that currently, but I will figure that out. Other than that, that's basically the setup that I've been trying to work on. If you've got any other ideas of like ways to make it work, I'm open to them, but this is what I've got so far. I do need to get a actual working battery for it, because even the guy was nice enough to send me a replacement battery, but it's still kind of flimsy. It works, but it works for like half an hour maybe, and when you're in an application where you want to legit use a tablet and you don't want a cord hanging around, that just doesn't quite work out so well when you're trying to do tablet thing and your battery dies in half an hour. But yeah, that's what it is. But that's kind of the setup that I've got. I do have other games and whatnot installed in here. So if we go into games here, I do have a couple older games. Just kind of like set up as like a small like doodity thing, whatever, but I can like take notes if I want to. I haven't quite pulled it out for that kind of stuff quite yet, but I'm getting it closer to that like ready point, I think. But the main stopping point is that battery. So once I can figure out either A, reselling one of these batteries, or B, trying to find a new aftermarket battery that might work, then yeah. But yeah, if this gave you any ideas and that kind of stuff, leave the upcomies and that kind of a thing, and I will see you all in the next one.